Why do we suffer at the hands of these politicians? Don't you know politicians work for you?
Hey!
You're the boss. You hire them and you fire them. Look how they campaign. You know what they do? They audition.
Yeah!
When you put them on the job, if they're not doing the job, then you fire them. Because you're in control. From the city to the state to Congress to the president. You run this.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Hello, everybody. We're back again at Talk Labor, and you're here with Jerry Williams, your host. And hey, we got a delicious show for you tonight. And one of the things people you want to do is always talk about what's going on. Don't just go back and put your head in the sand and pretend like things that are happening are not happening, because it is. Don't think that somebody's going to take care of you, because they're not. The only way they take care of you is try to take from you. So what is yours, keep it. Don't be afraid to stand up and talk about it, okay? Now, what we're going to talk about tonight is the elections, the national elections. We're going to talk about the mayoral election. Yep, the mayoral election. We're going to talk about union elections. Then we're going to talk about some of the things that's happening now politically. Of course, we're going to always talk about, well, we're going to talk about the nuts with the AR-15s and stuff like that. We're going to talk about some of the things that's going on with our coalition and volunteers to keep you up to date. And then we're going to top it off with something I know you're going to love, okay? All right, let's do this. Let's get into it. Let's start right now talking about the elections that's coming up. I'm talking about the state elections right now. We know that the national elections is coming up in November. We want to be prepared for it. We want to be set for it. And we want to take every seat that we can take, and is out there for the taking. If you recall, you had a person that did the Democrat that flipped the seat in Florida that they felt wasn't going to be flipped. The one in Pennsylvania that they just had. I mean, these people, I can't believe these Republicans. I mean, they are just turned out because they got beat by the Democrat in that race. And that was a strong hold for Republicans. But this young man went in there, campaigned, and won. And I tell you what was really, really impressive to me. This was in Pennsylvania. The mayor, former mayor of that town, who was a Republican, they interviewed him. He said he voted for the Democrat. And they asked him why. He said, well, I'm not voting for a party, Democrat or Republican. I'm voting for the best person, and he's a better person than the other guy. I said, well, damn, that make me feel good, because that lets me know America's not stupid. They know what's going on here. So you got to take it, and then with that, you know, some of the people in the media, I tell you, some of the people in the media really get to me and get my gall, because they would say, well, see, Democrats, they got to do what he did. Democrats, they don't know. And you do know. In Virginia, when the Democrats turned the House over upside down and won, they didn't do what this young man did. They just ran their campaign. And other Democrats that flipped seats, they ran their campaign. So stop being so damn scary. Go and do what you do. Tell it like it is. Now, with this guy here, he won, and Trump and his group was saying, well, you know, he's more like us. That's why he won. He's more like a Republican. Bull. This man had every democratic value that we have. He's for abortions. He's for the health care. He's against Trump's tax cut. He's against them trying to take your Social Security. And he's just about everything that you've seen other Democrats with. But they're trying to say, well, that's the only reason why, because he's like us. Well, if he's like you, then why don't you do the things that he do? Jeez. People are not stupid. People are really not stupid. But now, let's talk about the elections here in the state of Illinois. We got gubernatorial elections coming up. We got state's attorney, and we got a lot of the House and Senate races that's coming up. Now, I am so tired of these people talking about Mike Madigan till, this is a guy that's been fighting for working people, unions, all his life. The guy in Pennsylvania, he was a strong union supporter. They voted for him. So here they're talking, get rid of those old unions and get rid. See, and most of the people that are saying get rid of those old unions, their daddy and their mama were union workers that got them through college. And now they want to try to cut that vein off for everybody else. We're not having it. We are not having it. But what you want to do with the elections in Illinois, choose your candidate. There are candidates that I would take a real serious look at. There's only one that I'm talking about supporting, and that's J.B. Pritzker. I'm definitely talking about supporting him, and I would encourage people to vote for this gentleman. I'm not going to put the others down, with the exception of Biss, because he put in that bill that destroyed our pension. He's still talking about coming after our pensions. So now I can't deal with him. State's attorney, I talked to you about it before. Erica Harrell, she's a Republican. Let's take a look at her. You all do your history on her. Do due diligence on Erica Harrell and see what she's about. I've kind of knew her. I talked with her. I knew her a little bit from years ago. I don't know how she is now. I didn't even know she was a Republican. But take a look at her. And then Kwame Raoul, I think they're talking about everybody is supporting him. But take a look at everybody that's running for state's attorney. And, Attorney General, Attorney General. And see who you want to support. Okay? Really. But put yourself out and do it. Because I'm telling you, ain't nobody going to do it for you. You look up and you be complaining, they didn't do this and this didn't happen. It's because you didn't do your homework. Now, when people come talking to you about the governor and what this guy did and that guy did and get you all upset with each other, the Democrats and that guy ain't that, don't let them do that. If you're not going to support a particular person, we don't need you talking about them, trying to put them down. Ricky Hendon, we don't need that. Just, tell me what the person that you supporting is going to do for you. That's what you want to do. Union elections. And, the reason I'm talking about this is because you got to get started now. Union elections are coming up. You got to make sure that you put people in there that's going to represent you. People in there that know what they're doing. You don't just put people in there just because I play ball with you or I go out and drink with you and you throw good parties. Folks, it's your livelihood. You better do your homework. Okay? You better do your homework. Mayoral election. The mayor of Chicago. That's coming up. Don't wait until 3, 4, 5 months before the election before you get involved. Get involved now. Volunteer, do all that stuff, because like I said again, this is your baby. This is your baby, and one of the things I really, really, really like to do and then get people to participate in, and that is volunteer, like going door to door, helping to send out flyers, whatever you need to do. Be a part of it. Be a part of it. From your local elections in your little town or your big town of Chicago to the state and to the national elections. Be a part of it. This is your country. But you can't just sit on your butt and say, well, somebody's going to take care of it for me. It's going to be okay. It's all good. No, it's not. This is your thing. Look, we're going to take a little break. And then I'm going to come back and bring you up to date on some very important things like the AR-15 and some nuts that you need to know about. Folks, you got to be careful. out there. So I'll be right back, okay?
What do you wish for? A nice life? Nice things? Or do you wish for something more? A sense of purpose? Do you wish to discover a cure? To write code that cracks an unsolvable question? To further our exploration into space? Or to invent something that changes everything right here on Earth? Well, if that's your wish, make yourself ready. Because when you look back, you'll see that you didn't just make wishes, you realized them.
AR-15. That is a weapon of war. This little chubby girl on The View, I think her name is McCain's daughter. This woman has gone nuts. You know, she whines. She wants to get her point across about how great she is. Not so much the Republican. It's because me and I, to hell with you. She want to have her way. Then when they check her, she says, oh, you're picking on me. Oh, I'm the only Republican here, and you're picking on me. Don't let her get away with that garbage. Now, she was saying that people should have the AR-15 because when they want to go hunting, they want to do this. And I'm saying, hunting? What are you hunting? What are you going to kill with the AR-15? What animal are you going to kill with the AR-15? Deer? No. Rabbit? No. Even a lion? No. The only animal you're going to kill with the AR-15 is a human. You're going to hunt humans. And I am sick of this stuff about, well, don't talk about it because it's too soon. Or, well, no, I'm not saying take, the AR-15. I mean, you can have them, but no, take those damn guns away from them because they don't need it. You don't need it. First of all, if you think you're going to go up against the government with an AR-15 and they got tanks and airplanes, you got to be the biggest damn fool in the world. So the only reason you get an AR-15, you want to try to murder innocent people like you've been doing for ever since these damn guns have been invented. Again, I told you, gun sales went up 400% when Obama was elected because, this black man, he's going to take all our guns and he's going to kill us all. And now they use that to make you all buy the gun. When the man didn't take your guns, and once his 2 terms were over, then he come back and say, well, they're trying to take your Second Amendment away, to take your guns away from you, because and that's to make money off of you, fool. What are you going to do with that? And I think they say only 3% of the people in the United States own those guns. Okay, that's your thing. Continue to do it. But I want you to take a look at this AR-15. They had a wedding with people holding their AR-15. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. People attend a blessing ceremony with their AR-15 style rifles in their cases at the Sanctuary Church in Newfoundland. Now, this is supposed to be a church, okay? Newfoundland, Pennsylvania. Hundreds of couples toting AR-15 rifles packed a Unification Church in Pennsylvania on Wednesday to have their marriages blessed and their weapons celebrated as rods of iron that could have saved lives in the Florida school. These are people that are supposed to be Christians. Now the cover's been pulled off these people, these evangelicals, and so whatever you call them. I don't know. I hate to even call them evangelicals. They're not. These are damn people that run around here and throw God in front of what they do so they can justify it. That's all they do. But they having a damn take a look at that picture. They're having they're showing where they actually did some type of ceremony with their wedding and blessings, and God didn't bless you to do that. He didn't create you to do that. When he put you down here, this is your heaven on earth. You want to destroy it. We want to maintain it and do the things we should do. But look here, I tell you what, we're gonna do this. We're gonna take another break. We're gonna come right back, and we're gonna talk about a little bit about a brother that you knew some time ago, Stokely Carmichael. We'll be right back.
Hey, loser.
Leave me alone.
When a child shares hurtful comments online, that's bullying. Visit erasebullying.ca to learn how to help your child stand up to cyberbullying.
Hey, loser.
Leave me alone.
When a child shares hurtful comments online, that's bullying. Visit erasebullying.ca to learn how to help your child stand up to cyberbullying.
How many of y'all remember Stokely Carmichael? Very, very outspoken. They called him militant. But he did some very good things for people. One of the things that I know and understand about Stokely Carmichael is that he had said in his book, and I'm going to have a person on here that's going to give you the complete rundown on Stokely Carmichael's book, where from the year of 1954 through 1964, only 7 black people were given SBA loans. Out of about 20 million people, black people, only 7 were given SBA loans. That's just the tip of the iceberg. That's just a little teaser, because I want you to, we're going to talk about that book next week at our next, on our next show. It's unbelievable, but it's true. And that's going on not only with the loans, SBA loans and things like that. It's going on with a lot of things that you do. One of the things that's so important is that your education has been assaulted. It's been assaulted for ever since you've been here. Years and years ago, if you were caught reading or studying, they cut your tongue out like you were an animal. That was the fear. And the fear was that if you get educated, you're going to know what they're doing and you'll know how to prevent it and stop it. These savages, and I'm not talking about white people, I'm talking about savages. Just so happened over in this country, most of the savages were coming out of the white race. You've had savages all over the world before. But black, white, all colors. But right now, we're starting to conquer that. I do believe we're going to do what the master put us down here to do. I think it's going to happen. We're starting, I said before, if we weren't murdering and trying to kill each other and do all those type things, we'd be on other planets right now. We'll be harvesting other planets. Really. And that is the honest God truth. We would know what the black hole is about. All this stuff that you see on TV right now, if we maintain and stay here on this earth, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But we're going to get to that book. Hopefully next week, I got a guest that's coming on that's going to, really, really bring us up to date with some of the things in that book. You're going to find it fascinating. Fascinating. Now, I'm trying to stay away from that orange-haired guy. Because the guy just lied so much. It's just terrible. But what I want to say to the coalition members, you all stay strong because nobody's going to help you but yourself. You've been taken advantage of. You've been riding for years. You were well protected. Unions were strong, and your pension was well protected. No, when I was a young man and wasn't even thinking about a pension, the older guys were talking about their pension and what they were going to do and why they were putting up and getting ready for their pension. Then later on in my life, I started to understand that. They were looking down the road and they're very smart to do that. And I got in a position where not only could I do it, I could even enhance it and help other people. And that's what I did. And you want to make sure that you maintain what you have, because you pensioners, you're living a hell of a lot longer than your predecessors. And you want to make sure that you're not living in poverty at any point in time in your life. So I want you to make sure that you work with us, the coalition. You that have not joined, take a look and see. Go to, if you do want to join and you don't know who the officers are or where they are, you can always reach out to talklabor@gmail.com. Leave your information there, and we'll contact you, okay? But your office is the president, myself, I'm CEO of the organization. Claude Funches is your president. Benny Rogers is your vice president. Tommy Little is your assistant treasurer, with Ronald Roach being your treasurer. And Suzette Smith is your secretary. If you know those individuals, reach out to them. They'd be happy to sign you up and make sure that you are part of this movement. We will be having a general meeting at the end of April. We're going to want you all to come out. We had J.B. Pritzker's persons call us and want us to come out and work with them on the elections. So we're going to actually do that. But there's a lot more that you need to know. A lot more that you need to be doing to make sure that your pension is preserved. We're going to talk about that. We're going to have a guest with us that night. We're going to tell you where it's going to be. You're going to get that information, okay? So we're going to do this. We're going to take another break, and then we're going to come back and kind of wrap things up, all right? Want to leave you with something that I think is very important. Always leaving you with some of the things that you've done. When I say you, I'm talking about your ancestors and stuff like that have done. A lot of times when you do things, people silence it and you never know you did it. You have done so much. I'm talking about you African Americans. You have done so much in this country, even before this country. But you have done so much till it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. I'm going to leave you with just a little teaser of some of the things that you've done. You have done, and you be proud of that. You know, stand up and say you did it. You're not here to fight with anybody and to try to take over the world. Just know what you did. Know what your history is. Know what you're doing now. And you're going to know what your future is all about. I am so gratified that we've been fighting and we've been winning and we continue to move forward in this country. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to step back, tell you this. We'll be back next week. Like I said, we're going to bring you excerpts of the book that Stokely Carmichael wrote. I'm going to step back right now and just let you take a look at these little teasers that I have as far as your ancestors and what you've been doing and what they've been doing as far as inventions and stuff. Take a look at it. We'll see you again next week right here on Talk Labor.
Wow. All right. Not sure what to say about that one. Thank you, Ann. Deb is back now. They changed American history with innovations that left a permanent imprint on society. And Deb is back to tell us about a unique exhibit in KC highlighting African-American inventors.
Yeah, Justin, I have a quick question for you. Did you ever play with the Super Soaker water gun growing up? I think that's actually you right there.
You know, Super Soakers, the garden hose, whatever I could find.
Right. Well, interesting fact, a black engineer by the name of Lonnie Johnson actually invented that. Here he is right there, and I was actually blown away by that fact. Now, there are a lot of African-American inventors out there who may not have household names, but have pretty famous products. Let's take a look at this. 100 exhibits.
I think it's a great experience for all the ages that are here.
Line the floor of the American Jazz Museum.
Our exhibit starts with ancient African culture and works up to the present day to the gentleman named Jesse Russell.
Russell's the reason we can talk on cell phones.
And he developed the formula that makes it possible for all these cell phone towers that you see around the country to be built.
And builders like him, all black inventors, have made some pretty hefty contributions to the industry.
I'm glad that many things were invented by African Americans.
We can thank Emmett McHenry for making room for Facebook, Twitter, even Google.
But he's the guy who invented .com, .edu, .gov, .net.
McHenry didn't get a patent, and his efforts are widely unknown.
There are people who still are given full credit for things that maybe they shouldn't get full credit for.
Like Lewis H. Latimer. Thomas Edison is known for inventing the light bulb, but Latimer made it stay bright and stay on.
And he's the guy who invented and got the patent for the filament that Edison eventually used.
The exhibit is only up for one day. It started 15 years ago, and Lamb hopes to rebuild it after relocating to the Midwest. Now, that was actually at the American Jazz Museum near 18th and Vine. Now, I have ties to one of those inventors. Here he is. Lewis Latimer is actually my great-great-great-grandfather. Unfortunately, Justin, I didn't get those genius genes. Yes.
I was going to say, now his great-great-great-granddaughter is on the Now KC. That's an even bigger deal, I would say.
Hey, that is awesome, especially because I get to work with you and Wayne and everybody else.
There you go. There you go. Good story. Some cool fun facts.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Deb.